You eat clean all day long, breakfast is dialed in, lunch is on point, and you finish the evening in a calorie deficit. At least you thought so. Because when 9 p.m. strikes, you walk into the kitchen, and before you know it, you've blown through a week's worth of progress. Sound familiar? The thing is that nobody tells you that this is not a willpower problem. You have a predictable pattern that is running on autopilot. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 strategies that I use with my own coaching clients that are going to help you overcome this nighttime eating. And I'm going to give you a bonus that's going to tie everything together. Let's go. I've been a men's nutrition coach for 15 years. I've worked with over 1,000 clients, and I work on identity and psychology, not just macros and tactics. Today's video is for those guys in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who are just crushing it all day long on their eating, but then they are just torching that progress at 9 p.m. and later when they eat at night. This is the number one thing I see sabotaging people, so let's fix it now. All right, tip number 1, your environment is more powerful than willpower. How many times do you come home after a long day? You've made decisions all day long, you're exhausted, you're tired, your willpower is drained, and you run the same predictable pattern. You get home, you go to the kitchen, and you start eating. You get home, you get to the couch with those favorite snacks that you often do. People just don't realize how predictable this pattern is and how often it's occurring. You're not really deciding to even eat. You're simply responding to the same patterns, the habits, the rituals, those environmental cues that are just running on autopilot in your subconscious. Doesn't even matter if you're not hungry. You just do it every night. So you do it without thinking. The first thing I want you to do here is just think and imagine, what's the pattern that you're running? Is it on the couch when you're messing up your diet? Is it watching TV? Is it checking those last minute emails? Is it when you're just sitting in the kitchen bored? Notice the pattern. That's it. Awareness is the first step. And then I got 3 environmental moves for you. The first one, toss the junk. If there's any temptations in the house, whether it's ice cream, chips, or any of these snacks that you enjoy, just toss them out. Don't rationalize it. Don't overthink it. Just get rid of them. If they're not in your environment, you can't snack on them. It's just enough to break that pattern. Toss the junk. You don't need it. It doesn't serve you. Why save it? Why keep it in the house? You want to design your environment for the person you want to become, not the person who's struggling with that late night eating. Second, leave the kitchen. If you always come home and go straight to the kitchen, and that's where you have your nighttime eating binges, then avoid the kitchen at all costs. Go in, straight to the living room, put on a show, something you enjoy, go for a walk outside, whatever you got to do, wherever that environmental cue is firing and triggering that pattern, you got to break it. So just leave the kitchen. Once you catch yourself there and you're bored and you're about to start snacking, get out of there. Go to another room in the house. Third, just change what the evening looks like. I talk to so many people who use that time to just unwind, and they actually want to just relax and release from the day. And so they're bored, they're stressed, they're anxious, they're feeling like they need to be doing more, and they snack as a result. And there is no unwinding, there's no relaxing in that, because you consciously know that you're not serving your goals. You feel that dissonance and it really eats at you, and you can't truly relax because you know you're not moving ahead and acting in behavioral congruence with who you want to become. So once you know that routine and you know those environmental triggers and where it's happening, I want you to do anything else for that evening time when you're really trying to wind down. What is going to really offer you true relief? Could you read a book instead? Could you watch a documentary and learn something? Could you go for a walk? Could you do some foam rolling? Could you do that mobility routine that you've been putting aside? Think about what's going to offer you true relief, solve that boredom, solve a little bit of that anxiety, let you wind down and relax and unwind from the day without using food and the snacks, because that's where that true relief is going to come from. So you want to realize that your environment is either working for your goals or against your goals. So you want to design it intentionally. Tip number 2 is about awareness. And this is where the real shift happens. Think about where you're just firing on autopilot. Maybe you're going downstairs to close the garage, lock the house up, and then you end up in the kitchen. And this is when you have those extra scoops of ice cream, those extra bowls of cereal that are really throwing off your diet plan. Once you find yourself in the kitchen, I want you to pause, create that awareness. We need a little bit of space between that stimulus and the action. So you're just pausing. And in that pause, and you catch yourself, I want you to ask yourself the hard question. Am I physically hungry right now? Do I even need to eat? That question alone can dissolve that craving and give us a little space to be way more intentional. Then I want you to ask an even harder question. You've caught yourself, you have that awareness of what you're doing mindlessly, and you ask, can I just go to sleep? This one hits hard because remember, you've nailed it all day long. You've had a great breakfast, you've had a great lunch, dinner was likely on point, and so you're fueled. You do not need more fuel to go to sleep. And yes, you can just go to bed. And the goal here is to not just white knuckle this urge. You're just creating awareness. You're creating intention. You're asking intelligent questions. And no, you're not hungry. And yes, you can just go to sleep. And so that little bit of shift, that little bit of time between stimulus for the craving and acting on that craving is enough to dissolve it right there on the spot. And you're just creating a little buffer. That's when you can drink some water. You can leave the kitchen. You can head up to bed, maybe take some magnesium instead. And then this is going to give you that real routine that you want to build and establish. These patterns that we're running unconsciously, we're human. We all have them. It's totally normal. But once you become aware of it, you can start to predict it, and then you can begin to change it. I always say it's like a muscle. You want to catch it once, and once you do, it's not like you do it once and then you're set forever. You got to get some reps in. You got to repeat it. And just like a muscle, it's going to grow, strengthen, become easier and more automatic over time. And then that is the pattern that you want to fire and wire, the ones that move you closer to your goals, not further away. Okay, tip number 3 is one that's more tactical. It's one that you can actually deploy tonight and use it. You don't have to just white knuckle it off the bat and just not eat anything. There's a lot of people that really struggle with this nighttime eating. And so when they don't fill that void with food, they get a little uneasy. There's a little discomfort there. There's like a void then, a gap that needs to be filled. So my number 1 tactical recommendation for you is to fill that gap with protein. The rule here, protein only after dinner. If you absolutely must eat, or if you find yourself in the kitchen and that urge to eat is really strong, have something that is protein only that's not going to mess up your numbers for the day. It's not going to have a big impact on your carbs and fats and overall calories. That means things like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, a protein shake. You can even blend a protein shake up with a lot of frozen cauliflower in there, make it nice, thick, and filling. It's minimal on the calories, but has lots of protein and fiber. You can do deli turkey slices, you name it. Protein only after dinner. Everyone's like, oh, don't eat at dinner, but there's plenty of good studies. Dr. Mike Ornsby has some interesting work around this, where he shows that about 30 to 40 grams of protein before bed, if it's under 200 calories, can help you lose weight and build more muscle. And so there's really a minimal impact on your overall progress for body composition change this way. And there's a few reasons why protein only after dinner works really well. Number 1, protein is highly satiating. So it is actually going to curb any hunger pangs, and it is not going to impact your blood sugar like carbs and sugar do. This means you're not triggering more cravings. You're not messing up anything before bed. Number 2, it gives you some rules, not restriction. I see a lot of guys eat dinner early one night, maybe 5 p.m. because it's a special event or something with the family. And then they feel this huge void when they know, I can't eat anything after dinner. And this ends up more binging on that carb type foods. So the reality here is knowing that you can have protein only after dinner gives you some guidelines if you actually get physically hungry again. If you eat a dinner at 5 p.m., it's totally normal to feel some hunger, maybe 8, 9, 10 p.m. And so if you're going to be up for a little longer, have that protein only. This rule works really well. Number 3, this is going to create a stepping stone for you. Ultimately, the goal may be to eat dinner and then be done and never eat anything again until you go to bed. And you can get there, but this protein only rule is a stepping stone. If you need something, think protein first. Here's how to do it in real time. You have that early dinner or you catch yourself in the fridge. Have some protein first. 30 to 40 grams of protein, clean, lean, roughly under 200 calories or so. It's minimal on the impact. Eat that first. It's going to satisfy you. It gives you enough time to start breaking that pattern, and it's going to give you something that is positive on your overall intake, and it allows you to stack some wins to where you feel like you're eating something that moves you ahead, not that big bowl of cereal that sets you back. So you're essentially replacing the behavior instead of eliminating it, and you're building that identity over time of someone who chooses health and aligns behaviorally with their goals. All right, so here's the bonus I talked about, and this one matters more than the other three, and that is the energy that you're approaching this problem from. The guys who really struggle to overcome this nighttime eating, that's what they see it as, a struggle. And they come at it from this energy of fight and battling it and white knuckling it. And you know what you get if you perceive it that way? You get struggle. You get difficulty. You get white knuckling. It becomes this constant battle. So I always like to say you get to choose two routes on how you want to approach this nighttime eating. You can choose the struggle route and you're going to get more struggle, or you can choose to see it with joy, to see it with enjoyment, to see it with challenge, to see it as an opportunity to become who you want to be, an opportunity to lean into discomfort, but get your goals. This is identity level change. So when you feel that urge to eat at night, you're going to kind of laugh at it a little bit. You're going to kind of relax and release and just let that tension out instead of that white knuckle energy. You're going to come from a place of joy and say, hey, this is another time that I get to practice overcoming this. I'm going to have some protein, and the old me used to white knuckle this, but the new version of me is going to see this with some gratitude because I'm becoming who I want to become, and this moment is the perfect chance to practice. If you think about it this way, there's probably a time when going to the gym, even if it was when you were younger, when it was really a struggle for you and you didn't like it, but you started going more frequently, and then eventually you're like, I feel weird if I don't go to the gym. It's just part of who I am. And so now you go to the gym, you look forward to it, you feel off if you didn't get your workout in. This is the same way, you can come at it from like, oh, I gotta do this nighttime eating thing. I gotta overcome this challenge. Or you can see it as I get to learn ways to overcome it, and I get to put in some reps in practice, and you're gonna look back and think, wow, I could have overcome this a long time ago. And that's that identity level change that we want. All right, quick recap. Tip number 1, environment beats willpower. What junk can you toss out? What foods are you snacking on at night that you can just throw away and get rid of? Or how can you leave that environment where you're doing it? Whether it's the couch, the kitchen, get out of there. Tip number 2 is to ask the hard question. You create that awareness. You've caught yourself in that pattern that you're running unconsciously, and you ask, can I just go to sleep right now? Am I even physically hungry? These hard questions are going to create that gap for you to make a new action. Tip number 3 is a smart swap. Instead of going cold turkey, you can swap in some protein, 30 to 40 grams, pure, clean, lean protein. Protein only after dinner is the rule. That way, you're stacking some wins and not feeling like you have to totally restrict yourself right off the bat. And the bonus was choose the energy that you're coming at this from. If it's going to be white knuckle and struggling, that's what you're going to experience. But if it's joy, gratitude, the opportunity to learn and overcome, then that is what you're going to have more of. If this video landed for you, drop a comment below and let me know which one of these you need to work on the most this week. And if you want more of these psychological mindset tips to lose weight, get your best body composition ever, subscribe because I make videos like this every single week. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.